today's video we're going to be looking at how to use Microsoft Reading Coach. Now this is a free platform that you can use to support reading in school and at home. The first thing you need to do is head along to coach.microsoft.com, and once you get to that website you can head down to the Getting Started button just by here. Now once you've clicked that, you'll need to add your child's hub login details, and that will then give them access to the program and track their progress over time. Now as you land on the platform, this is what you'll see, and there's amazing features within Reading Coach that support reading across the board. So first of all, pupils and children can create stories using AI. They can read a passage from the library that is already built into the program, and then also finally they can paste in their own text that they can read. Now, there are little incentives as you go through using the program. So for every 20 minutes that your child reads, they'll gain new characters and new settings that they can use as part of the AI story generation. And then they can also gain badges for reading for certain amounts of days. So lots of incentives to use this program, really useful. So if we click on My Progress, what we can then see is how your child is progressing over time. So we can look at how long they've read for, how many readings they've completed, their average accuracy when reading, and then how many words they're getting correct per minute. So let's go ahead then and create a story using AI. So I'm going to select the option for creating a story using AI by here. And then what I'm going to do is I can choose a character, so let's choose a rabbit. And once then I've chosen the character, I can then go ahead and choose the setting to my story. So you can see you've got castle, city, house, island, mountain, and the grey ones there at the bottom then are ones that they can choose as they progress through the reading. So we'll go for the island setting here. Now I can choose a reading level, and if I'm not sure which reading level to choose, I just click on which level is right for me, and I get a little preview then of what the reading and the complexity of the reading at each level is, and I can just toggle through those to find one that I'm happy with. We're going to go for level 4, and then we're going to hit the Create My Story button here in the center, and we're going to create a story with a rabbit on an island based around the level 4 reading passages. So the AI will then do some magic in the background, and it will create you a story then based on the character and the setting that you have chosen. Now if it's the first time you're using this, you'll need to select Allow Microphone so that it will pick up your voice when you are reading through the text. Now if I click on to start reading, or not yet, what I can then do is I can see the Microsoft Immersive Reader platform here, which some of your pupils may be familiar with if they're using this tool already. Now Immersive Reader is really good because in the top right hand corner I've got some different options I can use to support all learners in the classroom. So first of all is text preferences, and in here I can create larger font by just changing the slider up and down. I can increase or decrease the spacing between the letters and the words, which again support the reading. I've also got 3 different fonts that I can use, and all of these fonts are dyslexia friendly, and then a range of coloured overlays which I can choose from, which will help support any child with visual impairment or visual difficulties when reading through the text. So I can select one of those and I can keep that on at all times. Once I'm happy then, I just come off the text preferences, I can go across to the grammar options, and in here I've got a number of different parts of speech, so I can highlight those if I wanted to. And then in the final settings, I've got the ability to turn on line focus. This will help your child focus on a set number of lines as they're going through their readings. Now once you're happy, you go down to the bottom and you select Start Reading by clicking on that green microphone there. And once you've selected Start Reading, you'll then have a little menu that pops up. So again, make sure you click Allow if it's the first time that you've used it. And then when you're happy then, you can click on the Start Reading option and your child will then be able to independently read through the text.
Rosie the rabbit was lost on an island. She couldn't find her family and didn't know how to get back home. While wandering along the beach, she heard a cry for help. Rosie quickly ran towards the ground to investigate and saw a baby flamingo tangled in seaweed. The flamingo had an injured wing and couldn't fly, Rosie knew that tiny bird wouldn't survive.
Now, once your child has read through the whole passage, they click the stop button, and then they can choose then whether to carry on, and they can choose what happens next in the story. So you'll see they get two options here. Then if they're happy to finish, you can click on the See Results button, and that will take you through to this page. So what I can now see is over the course of the reading that the accuracy was around 84%, which is really good. I get some reading time as well, so around 2 minutes. And then at the bottom of the page then I also get 5 words that your child struggled or had difficulty with when reading through the story. Now sometimes it's going to be really accurate, other times it might not be depending on the sound around you. But what you can then do is take those practice words and have a go at developing your knowledge. So this will take you through to the word practice section. You can see then the 5 kind of flashcards that appear across the bottom of my screen. What I can then do is I can essentially select one of these words, and as I select one of these words, it will then take me through to a selection screen where I've got a number of tools that I can use. The first one is the little speaker there on the left hand side, and what this will allow me to do is it will allow me to listen to the word so I can hear it being read to me. The second thing that I can do then, it doesn't happen on all words, but I can break the word down into, I can stretch it out basically to help with that decoding piece. And then the final piece then is a picture dictionary. So the picture dictionary allows me to see a picture of the word to develop that opportunity for dual coding. Now again, once your child's happy, they click on the green microphone and then they can practice reading that word back to Reading Coach.
Sign.
Once they've read that word, the AI will do a little bit of thinking, and if they've got it right, they get some nice feedback straight away. So they get verbal feedback from the tool, and they can click on to the next word option, and then they can go through that process of practicing the next word again by using those tools, and then practicing the pronunciation of that particular word.
Heart.
Again, once they've got that feedback, green star, they click on the next option, which will take them through to the next word. Now this word is a good example of how we can kind of break the word into different parts. So if I click on this stretch the word here, you can see it breaks it down into kind of 3 different parts to help with the reading. So we've got wandering, and then we can practice again.
Wandering. Rosie. Premise.
Now if the pupil gets it wrong, they get a little bit of feedback. Sometimes it might be that they can't hear the word properly, or they need to read a little bit louder, or they just struggled. So they can just try again as many times as they like, using those tools to help them. And then once they hit record again,
Promised.
they get that positive feedback from the tool, and they're able to then carry on practicing their reading in other formats. So for me, as a tool, this is an opportunity for your learners to develop that real fluency, to practice at home, to practice while they're in school, and to be really creative and innovative, but actually creating stories around their interests. So give Microsoft Reading Coach a go. It's highly recommended.